Hi, Janet. I'm here in Cypress Park. I thought I'd film you something, film something positive. Here's this restaurant called La Abeja, and it's here on the corner of Figueroa and Avenue 37. And here they have a mural painted. It's kind of aged now, and there's some of the paint's coming off, but it's interesting. You have Juan Diego here, and you have Mother Mary's apparition that he had witnessed in Mexico. I think I sent you another mural of this. And she was speaking Nahuatl, the Aztec language, and he supposedly she left a cloak for him to show proof that she was here, and it supposedly displayed in Mexico. I forget the city and state, but here as you work your way around, you have this kind of an Aztec kind of motif going on here. You have these Indian, you have, I can't pronounce these words, but you have it says Zapata here in Victoria. Zapata. And then you have these Indian words, right? This one's real long. And Juan Diego, that's him right there. With a bit, I believe that's corn he has. Guatemoc here. Bottle. The bottle, whatever. I'm not doing it justice. But you go up here like this. And back up a little bit so you can see the image here. Corner. You got these telephone poles, and as you walk in the store here, you got these. I think these are Mayan Indians, right? The Mayans. And then you have the up there. It says Abeja. It's the restaurant there. Restaurant. Am I getting that? Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, it's kind of hard because I'm getting a reflection here on the. So as you go around, you have this really interesting image. I think the guy put a lot of work into this. His name is Leo Limon. 2004. That's when he did the work on this painting. La Abeja. Mexican food up there. And there's some more of the building there. But then I remember sending this out. See, the reason I'm doing this again is that I lost my phone, and the images that I filmed before of this building, they were lost with the phone. So what you come into a surprise of all surprises. It's called Inspiraciones Indígenas, indigenous inspirations. Leo Limon, 2004, right? So, and there's another doorway here. Corn, boy, man. Us Mexicans, we love corn. We live on corn. My grandfather, Manuel Macias, he was a farmer, in Mexican Guadalajara. It's Jalisco, La Calera's the ranch, right? And they would, they would plant corn, and they would, that was his. He worked that all his life, man. He would live to be 75 years old. And corn is like the ultimate, for Mexicans, But real quick, here's the surprise of all surprises. You have the Three Stooges here. Okay, here I'll give you the real names, or the birth names. Is Moses Mo Howard Horowitz, right? Moses Mo Howard Horowitz, and then you have Louis, okay, Larry Feinberg, okay. His real name was Louis Feinberg, but he was known as Larry Fine. And then you have Jerome Curly Howard Horowitz. The Three Stooges, all right? Now, of course, Shemp's not in there. He was, the Shemp years were really interesting, too. I love Shemp. But this is because interestingly, Shemp was in the Three Stooges originally. Okay, he was part of the trio, but Universal, I believe, they offered him a contract because, see, Shemp is a natural-born comedian. He could stand there and he could work a nightclub and he would have you just cracking up, But Moses, or Mo Howard, right, or I should say Moses Horowitz and Jerome Horowitz, Curly Howard, they were more scripted. You have to write out what they're going to do, right? And then, of course, Curly was very physical. He was spinning around the floor and, that kind of stuff. But you don't do that in a nightclub. You know what I mean? You just... and then, of course, Mo was the one who was the boss. He was the one slapping the other guys around. The timing was impeccable, He'll say, like, I'll tear your tonsils out. I'll tear you, I'll gouge your eyes out. That kind of stuff he would say, it's violent stuff he'd say. And then, hitting them over the head with a hammer. They banned the Three Stooges, I believe, in the Philippines because these kids were actually hitting themselves with these objects. So they said, we got to get those guys off the air because children, that is kind of scary. When you have a guy, like when Shemp would be shaving, he would put that blade right through his tongue, like to see how sharp it was. And you hear that sound, zzz, And, so it was like we didn't do that. We just knew that we just didn't do. But you could see how some children might do that, But so what happened with Shemp, he signed with Universal as a solo guy, which really Mo never got over that. He never forgave him for that, for leaving the Three Stooges. So then he asked his younger brother, Jerome, Curly, he would join. He said, sure, So then they went to skyrocketed to fame. But then Curly, he suffered from, I believe, high blood pressure. And then he suffered multiple strokes, and Shemp took over. And he did a great job, Shemp Howard. And I love those 40s, the gangsters. They're more of the gangsters. They're dealing with gangs. Though they were doing that little bit of that just before Curly left. They're dealing with hoodlums, in New York, and all that, dressed out in that, the fedora and the suit, the pinstripe suits and all that. And they were tangling with these gangsters and stuff. I love those episodes, So what happens, then Shemp died all of a sudden one day. He went to a boxing match, and then when he got in the car with his friends, this guy felt him. He kind of fell over, like he was sitting. He kind of was leaning on him. I said, Shemp, what are you doing? Like sit up straight kind of thing. And he looked at him, and he was dead. He suffered a massive heart attack there in the car. What a way to go, huh? I mean, that's the way I want to go. Just immediate. He was gone. And that's what poor Curly, he suffered strokes, multiple strokes. He just slowly, just got sicker and sicker, and he just suffered a lot. But hey, they brought us a lot of joy, and I have my collection at home. They've released all of the Three Stooges short subjects in order of release. So I'm only missing one, but I got them all, And I just, when I'm feeling down, which I do a lot in this city and this country we live in now, I'll just pull the Three Stooges out and just go back to my childhood and seeing those three guys. Well, I should say 4 guys, because, Joe Besser, he was great, but that guy named Joe, I mean, I couldn't stand him. The guy that took after Shemp, he didn't want to get hit. He put on his contract. I don't want to get slapped around like he does. He slaps the others, and so that's. So you had, you had Mo, Larry, and Curly. You had Mo, Larry, and Shemp, and then Mo, Larry, and Joe, and then Mo, Larry, and Curly Joe. Curly Joe was okay, but they're already older and they're going into the 60s. Well, you take care, Janet. Bye.